maybe they have a connection to the actual arcade machine.
Look at this cam.
Oh, okay, now we get a cam above it.
Big budget. Big budget happening here.
Yep, I'm slightly behind you guys. So, okay, so we can see them. Don't you think we'd want to watch the screen?
Maybe.
Oh, unless they, like, are fighting each other.
It looks like they're head-to-head.
Oh my gosh.
Don't shoot the does. That's sexist.
Alright, here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, and Sarah goes out early. Melinda is going to continue her streak here.
Man, that's the riveting, exciting stuff you can only get in esports.
What happened to her?
Our last match here, the way that Sarah dove out right at the beginning.
Oh, she doed out.
Oh,
Doed out.
oh, you can't doe out.
No, you don't want to doe out.
No, not at all. That's not what you do.
In real life.
Okay, so I just put the screen region of just that on Twitch, and we're streaming that.
Okay.
But sound-wise, over it.
Most people do here. It's all about.
Okay.
By the way, no animals were harmed.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh, did someone just doe out?
Again, although she
Yes, she did.
That was intense. That was
Doed
intense.
out.
Guys, we have riveting esports happening right now.
Might have been that flippy cup in our interim.
That's right, the Flippy Cup. You gotta watch out for the Flippy Cup.
Oh yeah, they play Flippy Cup. I was watching some of that earlier. I don't know what that does.
Is that when you flip a cup?
Yeah, they have to flip a cup for some reason.
Look at that that shotgun action. You see that? She's just like. Oh.
Didn't they shoot the doe though?
Yeah.
So the one wearing the black shirt must have hit the doe.
Yeah, she doed out right away. Yeah, look at the bottom right. It's a little like Ghostbusters doe symbol.
Oh yeah, that's a round one doe.
Sarah couldn't take advantage, and she's upset with herself. She couldn't get that $6.
Oh, you gotta watch out for the $6. I mean, if you don't take that, look at the score difference that you get.
It's the pinnacle of our sport.
I am. Wow.
Esports for all. Get ready. Okay, remember, shoot the bulls.
That's still a deer. I thought it was a panther for a minute.
Get the one in the back.
Oh, someone doed out.
Doed out.
Sarah doed out.
Oh, what the hell just happened? They got eaten by a boar or something.
Oh!
Oh, she's killed by a wild boar. Oh, she got it. Never mind. I thought she was killed.
I thought she was killed too. That, you know what? That is amazing. That's a great shot.
This is esports. Someone just died.
Wow. So Melinda takes the
yeah, you lose, you get eaten by a boar. That's esports.
Yep, this is esports. Truly, this is the era of esports.
This is the Big Buck World Championship.
Yes, that's right. Well, everything's looking green.
There goes some critters.
Who's gonna doe out first? Oh, boom.
Oh!
There it is. That's it. That's the game. Game, set, match.
Pounds out on the way to Sarah getting her 5th. So wow, Sarah getting some momentum back here.
Well, Sarah's catching up. Or is first.
Alright, I see you're at a loading screen. We better put up a half-naked lady just to hold your interest. Oh, they've got pulled into Tron. Now they've got to kill Tron animals.
How do you know what's actually there?
Don't shoot the Tron does.
They are shooting these things.
It reminds me of Star Fox.
No, it does not remind you of Star Fox.
Star Fox?
That looks nothing like Star Fox. If anything, maybe the original one, not 64. You're wrong.
Bonus complete. Just like a good hunter, they finished killing animals and then were pulled into a parallel dimension where they had to fight wireframes in a tunnel of death.
Yes, and they weren't in any danger at all, because guess what? They ran away from them.
Oh my god, the half-naked lady.
Oh.
Hey guys, that was a great round. How about a naked Baraka Safari? Woo!
Shaka, shaka, shaka.
So Melinda just needs one more trek.
Oh, just one more? Only one?
Just one more. Don't doe out. Don't doe out.
It's out there. It's right there. It's trying to taunt you.
Nope. Damn it, Sarah. What did I just say? I said don't doe out.
She didn't doe out. Oh, no, she did.
did. She dove right out.
She dove out.
Comes around.
And this is where Belinda catches up. Look at that shot.
All right, we got Melinda.
Belinda wins.
Cloud9.
Doesn't look very happy.
She's like, oh crap! I got to keep doing this.
Well, the weight of the murder has settled on her head.
Oh, even start, but
It's like
Don't go out.
Don't go out.
see that she's getting ready, just like pumping her shotgun over and over again.
Yeah. Well, look, you're either committed to it or you're not. You know.
Thanking all the people at the Hard Rock Cafe. Thanking all of our sponsors.
Looks like Sarah is actually
Twitch, Flashman Studios,
just killing.
Thanking all the people at
Oh, she might have caught up with that. Let's check the scores.
Oh my gosh.
Sarah in the lead again.
This is such an awesome event.
You know, I think if one of them would have a trucker hat on, we, you know.
Only if it's backwards.
Yeah, you know, you gotta be.
Okay, don't shoot the cows. Shoot the bulls. Okay, we got this.
Don't dough out, Sarah.
Sarah is business in this.
They're running in the front there, trying to make you dough out.
All over the place.
You know, I think the real thing that speaks to the quality of this esport is the fast rounds. You don't have a moment to even appreciate that something's going on.
Exactly.
And what was the buck tip? Drink booze. Like that was what that advertisement looked like.
It's unbelievable. You can see
Hey,
the crowd
here's a pro buck tip for you all. Get plastered.
You can actually feel the way the crowd is into this.
Really? Are they? Is
Feel
the
the way
crowd
the crowd
really
is
into it?
this.
There's a lot of electricity in the air. We just got a great crowd. They're all very excited. One man literally took off his hat and poured beer into a funnel that he funneled directly into another competitor's mouth. It's just a wholesome good time for everybody here. Back to you, Jackson.
Yeah, I'm actually standing here in the crowd here, and I got someone with me. Ma'am, you said this was your first time to the Big Buck World Championship? Ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Jules, you're the man.
I'm too busy watching this compelling thing.
That is amazing. She is too busy watching to even commentate.
That's right.
This is amazing. There is something so amazingly impressive about these competitors. They make it look so easy, and they make it look so... All they're doing is twitching a gun, and it feels like I'm right there.
Oh, look at the way that they're hitting those targets.
You gotta shoot the targets between the clockwork gears.
Oh, really?
Not since the Battle of Big Ben in 1348 has there ever been this much action inside a clock.
I think the other one's having a little bit of a
Wait,
spaz
where did Sarah go? That's not Sarah anymore. That's someone different. We brought in a ringer.
9,000 points.
Wow.
To the final shot. That's 5 more fights in a bonus round.
All right, I'm closing this down.
Yep.
Okay, alright. Yep, I should probably not watch
right
this
behind
all
Sarah.
show long.
That
Like-
was something special.
I may or may not want to.
That was something very special.
Am I going to lose you through the whole episode again?
I told you guys, why are we even bothering doing a show right now when that's what's going on? Like,
My goodness.
and first of all, to anyone who's in the chat room, what are you doing? Did you see what's on Twitch right now?
I mean, you are missing the Big Buck World Championships right now.
Yeah. I mean, how can you? How can you miss something so special like that? What the hell is wrong with the world?
Wow.
That's insane. That's fantastically insane.
That was most excellent.
Truly, the future of esports is here. New Heroes of the Storm. Right after a match, we're going to get a Safari Girl to dance on the screen to encourage you to queue up again. We really think this is going to push Heroes to a new esports plateau. Also, before you queue for a match, everybody has to get drunk.
Very drunk.
Somehow
And, you know, it was very compelling if you were watching the chat room because all of the chat was talking about some guy named Jared who got kicked out.
Oh, yeah, you guys didn't... Hold on, I'll post the picture, Jared. There are pictures.
There's a picture of him?
Hold on.
You saw this?
Yes. Look, this is what piqued my interest. I'm not gonna lie. I was not into this until I
So
saw
what's the
a picture of
backstory? What happened?
Jared is a specimen of a human being, and he was featured prominently on the stream, and then they pulled him, and the chat room got very upset. They've been upset ever since. They just want Jared back.
For some reason, my cameras have froze, guys. Just so you know, looks like Skype actually froze.
Yeah, the stream is frozen too.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming they can still hear us.
Yeah.
Oh, not responding. Okay.
I mean, when you look, we're competing against that. All right. We're gonna have Twitch issues. I'm sorry, but the Big Buck World Championship's going on right now.
That was Marty McFly right there. It was like Marty McFly in 50 years.
It's Jared.
Okay, guys, I have some bad news. I'm going to shut down Skype and bring you right back because, yeah, it's frozen. So.
Okay.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. And now it's just me. Hi, chat room. How's it going? Yeah, that's right. Loading up Skype. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's awesome. It's bringing on John. And there's a problem with the playback device. What? Well, this is weird. That shouldn't go there. That should go like that. Now let's try again. Well, looks like it's gonna work this time, guys. I don't know why I had that weird voice in there, but I did. John?
Someone's poisoned the water hole.
There's a snake in my boots.
Picture that John has on his profile is really just the best thing.
Just change to it every now and then, just so you have to see
awesome. It. I love it. It's just pure awesomeness.
Well, you know, we aim to please.
It just came up on the stream and I was like, that's quite good.
There we go.
So nice. So
Oops,
nice
wrong button. Sorry, getting everything back up and running again.
No problemo. Everything decided it wanted to go whoop.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, cool. Well, hey, let's go ahead and start a show. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's about time we start a show. I mean,
right.
We can't watch Big Buck Championship all night.
I know what you're going to be doing after the show, though.
Hell yes, I am. My goodness, did you see that? You can't pay for entertainment like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn how to shoutcast that shit. You want?
Yeah, no kidding.
You gotta be fast, though. Those rounds last 2 seconds.
I know.
Nope.
I'd be like,
Looks
hey,
like Sarah's out of ammo. Oh, she dove down at the very end.
It's gonna be a lot of, and we got a shot on Buck, and a shot on Buck, and a shot on Buck, and oh, she dove out!
There's a boar.
Buck, 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 boar!
Buck, go!
No! And then you just, like, have a clip of Homer Simpson saying doe, and you just repeatedly hit it all over again. Doe, 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 doe!
Yeah, obviously you know how to shoutcast.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You wanna give us another example, Ben?
Not right now.
How about a successful one? Go ahead, call it.
I'm automatically opening something up, so give me a second here.
The match is... Okay.
Sorry.
He's not here with you.
Okay, let's try this again then. Okay. Okay, we got a buck. Got another buck. Got a buck. There's a buffalo. There's a buck. Oh, almost. She missed the doe, but she wins.
There you go. Get the full experience.
There. Now I get what you were trying to do.
You have an air horn.
Of course I do.
Good lord.
Of course I do.
Okay, if that is used at any point during BlizzCon to scare me, I cannot be held responsible for fists flying in your facial direction.
What if it's used during the show to scare you?
No.
I can't hit you, so you're fine.
I'm putting the veto on that. I know where you live. I can come and hit you. It just takes a little longer than it used to.
All right. Fine.
Run.
Let's start the show.
You can use that as much as you want in pre and post show, but once the show officially starts,
Let's start the show.
okay.
Then the temptation's removed.
Okay. Jules, whenever you want to start us off, feel free.
Does
All
she
right.
remember the intro?
No.
Did the script change?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's whatever you want it to be. But bring the energy,
Okay.
because we will be judging.
Okay. You have cards to hold up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. We have
You had something within arm's reach.
cards. Okay.
Okay. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hi, this is Jules from Torin Think Tank, and you're listening to Azeroth Roundtable.
Oh. Oh, wait. I forget because it's backwards for you, so.
I was getting a
It
1
should
and
be
a
a
10
10.
and a 1 and a 10 and a 1 and a 10.
It's an 01. You got an 01, Jules.
Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 135. My name is Ben Bumhofer, and with me, as always, is John Jagger. How's it going, John?
Hey, Ben. I'm happy to be here. We are 2 weeks away from BlizzCon. This is the last normal show before we get into the BlizzCon stuff. And that's exciting, because it kind of means that, you know, there hasn't been a ton of news. Everybody's kind of just waiting for BlizzCon, which means we're just here to have a good time.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah! You know what's great? We're going to have our BlizzCon show, and then there won't be any news again, so yeah!
Yeah! And then we get to have just another good time. It's
Yeah.
all good times.
Wait, are you saying that our BlizzCon show isn't good times?
No, it's all good times.
Okay, good. Because otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. But Ben, it's not just about us having good times.
No, it's not, because we are joined by Jules. Welcome, Jules!
Yay! 135 episodes, guys? Like, what? The what? That's awesome.
That's what I ask every time I see the number go up. Why
Right?
hasn't this been canceled?
Well, let's put it this way. We have a lot of filler.
Yeah.
A whole lot. Like, there was
You
that
know-
one episode where John just went for about, like, 40 minutes.
Yep.
Yep.
The Wild Star episode.
Mm-hmm. Yep, don't want to forget that one.
The Heroes of the Storm episode.
It's funny, those usually happen when I'm not on the show.
Weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Strange.
Weird.
It's odd.
Next time we'll have a Mario Maker episode, right?
I mean, that was kind of last week.
Yeah, post show. Yeah.
Yeah, post show.
Hi, Jules. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me back. I love hanging out with you guys. I mean, my Fridays are always made a little bit better because I get to hang out with Bob and Tim.
Hi, Jules.
Hi, Ed.
Hi, Jules.
Hi, John.
We're happy to have you here. That's a callback, everybody.
That's a way callback, man.
If you don't know why we keep saying hi to Hi Jules, wait. You should
Wait,
go back.
Are you
and,
accusing her of something?
Listen to all of her appearances to get the full story.
I don't
Yes.
think she lives in Colorado.
Hi, Jules. She's here to talk about WoW and eat a bag of chips.
Ah, crap, I forgot my chips.
Well-
Oh, well, we'll make do.
Yeah, because that's great. Just, yeah, so what are you doing in game, Jules? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm really doing alliance-y stuff.
Oh, that's
Alliance-y
right. Jules
stuff
is an
requires you to-
alliance player. What's up with that? Jules, what's up with that?
Do I have to be the Alliance apologist on this episode, I guess. That is going to be my role tonight.
No, you don't have to be the apologist. I have an alliance character.
You don't have to apologize for him. I mean, you should, but you don't have to. It doesn't fall to you.
Well, you know, Alliance has been my love. It's where I started, and I actually spent some time, probably about 2 years, playing Horde, because our whole guild decided to move to a different server and change factions at the same time. And then, when Convert to Raid came around again to go take me back to Alliance, I was like, yeah, I'm going back to Alliance because I missed it. So yeah, I'm Alliance through and through. I have Horde characters. I have Horde characters on AIE. I don't ever play them. I don't know if they're still in the guild anymore because I haven't played them.
Well,
It's
okay.
alright. I understand what it's like to have characters kicked out of the guild you belong to.
Right.
Yeah, I might have done it, but that wasn't an AIE because I'm not an officer there. But in our old guild, that was fun.
I perhaps should log into my alts more often.
Perhaps.
I can confirm my main character still in the guild.
Well, good.
Yeah,
Good.
that hasn't happened yet.
Now, be honest, Jules. The reason that you miss the Alliance is just because you really miss the Night Elves hopping around.
Dancing on mailboxes.
Yeah.
And going, doinky, 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 doinky.
I can probably tell you with a lot of, I don't know, experience, I guess, that when I run around, I don't do the doingy, doingy, doingy sound necessarily,
No.
but I do the hoppy, hoppy, hoppy.
Okay.
Because that's what you do when you
you're
just kind of.
happy.
Oh gosh. Okay, my coworker has that song as her ringtone at work, and
Ooh.
it goes off probably every 15 minutes because she's a sales rep, and so she gets. So I hear that song all day long. I just know.
Thanks a lot, Ben. You've pulled Jules into the work zone, and now she's sad.
I'm
Yeah.
sad. I went from Night Elf Hoppy to now sad about Hot Happy. I don't
Okay.
understand what that means, but anyway.
Jules, if I've learned one thing about the internet, ranking things is a popular feature. So in
Yeah.
an effort to make our show more popular, I want you, our current episode Alliance expert, to rank the Alliance races in order from worst to best.
Okay. Worst to best. Worst would be Dwarf.
Oh,
man.
bad choice.
Okay.
Why?
I'm not judging your choices, but I'm
You
going to just
are.
go, oh man, and then, my goodness.
That's a bold move, Cotton.
I mean-
Let's see if it plays off.
Yeah, you've taken out like one of the best right off the bat.
I just dote out right there.
Yeah, you dote out. Definitely, you dote out.
Damn it.
All right, what's next worst?
Okay. So, okay, so we've got, I'm just putting it through my head. So we've got Dwarf, Gnome, Human, Draenei. Do you want Pandaren in there too?
Yeah,
Or
they're
Yeah,
an Alliance
they're-
race.
They're in there.
Human, Night Elf, Draenei. Okay, so then the second one,
Second worst.
Second worst, sorry, Markonnen, Gnomes.
Yeah, I mean they're a little high for my taste, but good spot for them.
You'd put them at the bottom.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so Dwarf, then Gnome.
What do you have against short people?
Well, she's short herself. She doesn't want to live that way in game.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm relatively short. I'm only 5'5", so...
Fair enough. Then I'm predicting humans next. You know, if we're just getting rid of things that Jules is. So let's find out what's the third worst.
I'm going to go with Human.
Oh, nailed it!
Did nail it, because that's the thing. I've just never liked the Human model at all, even though I played a Human for quite some time as my Paladin.
I've played a human for 31 years.
You have. I've done it for 41, so there you go.
Hey, John, you know what you just did?
What?
You totally bucked.
I bucked.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Totally bugged.
Did I get the boar?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep working on it.
Okay.
All right, what's the fourth worst?
Fourth worst. Well, now I have to start looking kind of top down to see where I would put everything.
Yeah.
Oh crap!
Say
What am I
goodbye to
missing?
the pandas.
Well, the pandas. I guess the panda would go there.
Yep, huggable. That's it.
See, I'm going
That's
top
quality.
down. So for me, at the top now would be Night Elf, Draenei.
Wait, no, hold on. Wait, you're spoiling the surprise. People have to go through this in an order. People want to know what the least worst is.
Okay.
So we got to work our way up to it.
We gotta work our way up. Okay,
We'll
I'm
bleep
forgetting
that out
Worgen.
like you swore or something.
Okay.
Yep,
I
totally.
forgot Worgen, so we'll put a Worgen above Panda.
Okay, now why the Worgen is because of...
Oh man. I'm having flashbacks to all the Worgen I've played. Okay, thanks, Foley artist Ben.
That was the longest Foley ever.
That's what she said.
Yes, it was. I love the accent, and I love the ability to shapeshift, but it was really kind of sucky to be a Worgen, so I didn't play it a lot.
You know what else shapeshifts? Druids.
That's what I am. I love it. We
all
are
right.
all over the board today. Okay.
Next worst.
Next worst. Who am I forgetting? So I have.
So
Night
right
Elf,
now you
Draenei.
haven't ranked Night Elf, Draenei, and
That's
I think
it,
that's
right?
everything, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If we're missing one, you can assume they're pretty near the bottom because we totally forgot about them.
Yeah.
No, so
Of course.
yeah, it would be Draenei, then Night Elf in my, because those are my two favorites.
Okay. So, confirmed, according to our resident on this episode Alliance expert, Night Elves, the least worst Alliance race.
Or does that technically make them the best worst?
The best worst Alliance race.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Okay. Jules, thank you for your Alliance expertise. We appreciate it.
And now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
That was not my best work. I will tell you this. It was not my best work on this show.
Okay, well, just because I play, both sides, we need to be fair and equal here. John, what is your order of best Horde Tune races?
Well, they're all number one in my heart, Ben.
Yeah, see? There you go.
How does
That
one
is a bunch
choose?
of BS.
How does one choose amongst their children?
Yes.
See, Jules, I just showed you how to step around the intentional landmine that Ben threw at me. Whereas for you, I've made the Alliance mad at you.
Yeah,
And
they
the
are.
Horde
They're
was
yelling at
already
me in the
mad
chat
at
room right now.
Well, okay, the dwarves are yelling at you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. The dwarves are upset.
Yeah, no one else showed up because it's past their bedtime.
Wow. Okay, so now that I have made everybody hate me about my ranking decisions,
Well-
this is why I never have an opinion about ranking and listing, because it causes to be drama.
Well, it just means that the episode title is going to be Jules ranks these top 5 Alliance races. You'll never guess what she says, or something like that.
Oh, that would be a great title. Azeroth Roundtable episode 135. Worst Alliance races ranked by Jules. And then, yeah. You'll never guess what she thinks is the worst.
All
And
of
I
that is
will-
the title, though.
Yeah.
I will go on a smear campaign and say Azeroth Roundtable is their clickbait episode right now.
Oh, it's total clickbait.
It's going to be our best episode.
Actually, for a shorter title, we should call it clickbait.
Done.
What other cool
and
clickbait
done.
things can we do? We've got the exclusive look at all the new models from Warlords of Draenor that you've been looking at for a year.
And you'll never guess what they did to the humans. Because you always have to put in that really
Right.
stupid hook that has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
The selfie camera pictures that John did not want you to see. Click here.
It's a picture of me like... So,
Oh, that'll be great.
Yes.
this is going to be great. This is going to be good stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think we got this. All right,
Guys,
that's
you know
a show.
what's guys, you know what's exciting about WoW?
What's exciting about WoW, John?
Mysteries.
Yeah.
Jules, what do you think of mysteries?
I like mysteries if there is a purpose of them. Like, if you're just giving me some kind of mystery to make me follow you blindly and hope that I'm going to come out on the other side and feel like I've learned something, I'm not necessarily going to feel comfortable following you. But if you've built it up and you've made it this wonderful thing where I've just got to know the answer, I like your mystery.
So
Okay.
the big question with that is are you a fan of Lost?
Yes,
Oh,
I am.
okay. So I'd put that in the first version.
All right. So, what if I told you that all of a sudden there was a pet in WoW that nobody knew was getting added to WoW,
I would
and then
say,
it was there?
What
are
are you
you-
talking about?
Are you pro that?
Actually, so we're okay, this mystery was like, oh, there's a pet in WoW that nobody knew about, and it just kind of appeared. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
All right.
But I wasn't about to go and say, what does it mean?
It's like a double rainbow. There is no meaning.
Would you want this pet? No?
It's a Murloc. It's a white Murloc. It's not one of my favorite. Okay, I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry. I like the Murlocs. I'm very sorry. I didn't say anything. I'm not judging. I think I just need to get off the show.
Look at the overlay.
We've already established that Jules hates small people, alliance races, and Murlocs. She also hates animals.
You won't believe what else she hates. Click here to find out.
Jules will come into your house and punch a cat right in the face. I'm going to put that laugh right after that click, too.
Exactly.
It's going to be a little graphic of a fist hitting a kitten and you laughing. Alright, so let's talk about the White Murloc for a moment. Not on the merits of what is a White Murloc, do we care about a White Murloc? The answer, by the way, is yes. But this notion that Blizzard can put something in the game that suddenly just appears, and all of a sudden all of Twitter explodes about it, and all of a sudden everybody's logging in, and there's so many people in the boring tundra that it doesn't even know what to do with itself, because it's like, I didn't even see this much action when the expansion came out. This is amazing. That's a cool thing.
Yes.
That was a really cool moment. Like, whether you liked the pet or not, like, the fact that all of a sudden, here we are in the barren deserts of WoW news and WoW content and all of that, and all of a sudden, my feed just explodes with people talking about it, and I logged in to go get it, and had to deal with some trolls who had put all their toy box crap on top of it. But, like, it was this thing, and I don't really care that much about the pet, if I'm being totally honest. You know, I don't usually have my pets following me. It's cool that I have a Murloc. I'm down with that. But the cool thing is, all of a sudden there was something new. It was completely unexpected. It's not like we read some patch notes that said, all right, good news, everybody. On October 15th, you're going to be able to get your very own turkey mount. Find a hidden cave pet, and find a hidden cave, and you'll be able to go get a turkey of your very own. But it's not your typical turkey. This one you're not going to want to bring home for dinner on Thanksgiving Day, lols.
Unless you like fish.
It's just like, boom, there it is. All of a sudden everybody goes and gets it. And it is exactly what I think WoW needs more of.
Well, one thing really quick that I want to throw in there is that it has been in-game since the last patch, which has been like weeks. So no one even knew that it was there until it just kind of got stumbled upon.
Well, is that true, or did they turn it on at a certain point? My understanding was that it was not enabled, and then they enabled it around that time.
Okay, I might have read wrong then, because I read that it was put in the patch, and it was there since. I could be wrong, and I'm sure Ro in the chat room will tell us.
This is the mystery.
Yeah, it is a mystery, actually. Because I you know, knowing Wowhead and how good they are at data mining, and they usually are really good at data mining that there's a pet somewhere, it feels like, you know, this is pretty big for them to not know about. Well, that they did catch it.
I think one of the big reasons why they didn't is because it's a pet that already exists. It's not something that was actually brand new and put in the game. They just, you know, kind of spawned one in a certain location. You know, this is something that you got from, like the Korean Invitational, like years and years and years ago. So it's there. It just wasn't actually available to anybody in the U.S.
That I didn't know. So that makes more sense then. It wouldn't have been something that would have actually been, you know, a new piece of data.
Mm-hmm.
To me, to like kind of get back to what I want to talk about in regards to this, though, is this idea that they can put content in the game that they don't necessarily have to have active the second that it gets put in. And that as a result, they kind of can spring some surprises on us. You know, I've been playing a lot of Destiny lately. And one of the interesting things about that game is that there has been stuff that people are like, man, there's this gun in this game and we have no idea how you get it. Like, we can see it on this menu, and we can kind of make some guesses about where it might come from, but we have no idea where it comes from. And then all of a sudden, if you had done this thing while you were doing other objectives, you unlocked this special quest, and boom, if you completed that, you got that gun. And it caught everybody off guard, and it was like, oh my gosh, where did this come from? I didn't get it because it requires playing Destiny with other people, and I didn't do that. So, but seeing it even as an outsider, like, it's getting me excited about the game. It's getting me talking about the game. Obviously, a lot of sites and stuff are talking about it. That kind of stuff's cool, and it's not the kind of stuff that WoW typically has, because like you said, Jules, it usually gets data mined. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is something that could come to WoW? Do you think it would be interesting to you? Do you think it would be an idea that would compel you to play the game more, or maybe do things that you wouldn't normally do in the game?
Personally, I would be super stoked if something like this happened. You know, John and I have had conversations over and over again, sometimes on air, sometimes off air, about spoilers. And while I don't exactly liken this entirely to that, because it is something entirely different, and like I said, John and I have killed this topic between the two of us, so I'm not going there. But that being said, data mined information and everything, I mean, that's how, you know, audio files get leaked. People, you know, make assumptions based off that. That's how new items and everything get leaked. You know, it's one of those things where it's nice to have that information, and, you know, good for Wowhead for compiling all that and figuring stuff out. Good for MMO Champion for reporting on all that, because there's definitely an audience out there for that. But I think that it does kind of break down some of the mystery that's available in this game. And I like the idea of, hey, you know what, if I go back into Naxxramas right now and I'm able to kill, you know, 2 out of 4 wings in like 20 minutes, this extra portal is going to open up that has some exclusive fight that I never would have known was there. You know, something like that. That'd be really cool. Who knows what gear or anything would drop. Maybe just an achievement, maybe a title or something like that. But just being able to just randomly stumble upon something while doing other things is one of the things that I love about, like, say, questing in Pandaria. You know, they kind of had those moments where you're out on the way to something and all of a sudden, oh, there's a question mark or an exclamation point over there. What's going on? And you figure it out, and there's this whole other open storyline or something that you never would have seen unless, you know, you looked at your map and then there's this big exclamation point that you never finished, or, you know, all that aside, it's that exploration and mystery and surprising things that, you know, it's a fun aspect of the game that we don't really have a lot of anymore.
Yeah. I mean, we are kind of right on the tail end of the whole I Found Pepe event that was actually coordinated and announced by Blizzard, which, you know, some would argue that it felt a little bit too it was too rehearsed. It was, you know, because they had sent out those plushes to people who were influencers in the community and could be out there saying, hey, at this specific time, tweet out yourself with a picture of Pepe and say you found him, and all of a sudden the internet, the social media outlets are hit with a massive amount of this. And it was clear that it was planned for a long time, because there were pictures of people from, you know, weeks ago with this, you know, it was you could see it was a marketing effort. You got that sense. Right. Then you get the turkey pet, and it's like somebody discovers it and it feels like this Easter egg gem thing, and everybody's got to jump on the bandwagon and say, that is so cool. And maybe that kind of thing could happen to me someday if I were out exploring and I happened to stumble upon something that no one else has seen before. Because I think there's a large percentage of the player population who would feel pretty damn special if they were the ones that could be like in their guild, say, hey guys, did you know that there's this mount in this cave that you could go get, but nobody knows where it is, and I can tell you and I can show you. And then you take your guild there, and then someone in your guild tells somebody else, and they're like, oh my god, my guildie found it. Like, you're the guy.
Yeah.
You were the guy that kind of got it all started, and you feel like you're somebody special, and maybe that just starts all over the place and just kind of spirals into this viral thing, which is what it did. So I agree with John. I think that there's a need to do a little bit more of this to get people engaged for the possibility of finding the treasure.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like Blizzard was maybe onto it. I feel like that's why they, you know, kind of since Pandaria, it's like, oh, well, we hid little treasures all around. But it's different when it's just like, here's the glowing item that we put in this you know, 10 by 10 cubic area because we've stocked so many of these things that you can't go 5 feet without stumbling upon something. And it felt good. I mean, like, leveling in Warlords, I still, you know, much as I kind of rag on this expansion, getting from 90 to 100 was a wonderful experience. I really liked it. I really enjoyed my time with it. So I don't want to make it sound like I hated that, but at the same time, it never felt special. Like, none of it was like the first time that you stumbled upon the golden coin in the Wishing Well in Pandaria, where you were just like, oh, what's this? I can click this. This thing sells for 100 gold. Type in chat, I just found 100 gold in a fountain. And everyone's like, yeah, everybody does. And you're like, I'm losing my mind. It felt really, really cool at the time. But another good example is look at the Caverns of Time, where if you get through that section fast enough, you can fight an extra boss and you can get a mount. That's a really cool thing. It's a really cool thing to try for. It's kind of a really cool secret. The only way they sort of announce it is, you know, there's somebody talking, but, you know, unless you read a guide or were told, there's no indication that if you just keep going along that path super fast, there's going to be a boss up there waiting for you. And it awards you with a map, or mount, not a map.
Well, maybe you get a map. I mean, does nothing, but, you know, it's a souvenir, John. It's a souvenir.
I got a map. Yeah.
I got my map signed by Chromie.
So I think that stuff is super cool, and it goes back to a time when, you know, when WoW was in, I would kind of say vanilla all the way through Lich King, where you felt like anything could happen. You had no idea what was really going to happen, and like, people would tell you things that were happening in the game, and you just didn't know if that was true or not. Like, you're making that up. Someone's like, guys, crystals burst out of the ground in the Barrens, and you're like, shut up, that doesn't happen. No, seriously, and bugs poured out of it. Shut up, that doesn't happen. And then you're in the Barrens, and the crystal pops up, and bugs come out, and you're like, what is going on? This is not a normal thing, you know? And people were losing their minds at that time. And I would love to see more of that.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys ever played Rift when it was out. You know, Rift was one of those MMOs where it was, you know, it wasn't as exciting as WoW in a lot of ways, but one of the things that they would do is just a rift would open somewhere nearby, and then you'd be running over there to try to help out to get that defeated so that it would go away, similar to like Dragon Age and that kind of thing. I really liked that kind of play because it was nice. It wasn't predictable. You didn't know where it was going to come up. And then if you happened to be there, that was awesome. But we live in a world where everybody wants to have their fair share. And they want the same opportunities as everybody else because they feel like they've missed out if they don't. And that's what happens most of the time with WoW, is that, you know, there's very little out there that is discoverable by one person or a bunch of people that goes out there and becomes viral, and you all of a sudden become the keeper of information. It's equal play for everybody. But in High Mall, actually, in the raid High Mall, there were these treasure chests that were in there that were scattered around different wings, and you just didn't really notice that they were there unless you had a raiding teammate who said, hey, did you check the treasure chest? And because you can only pick up one during your raid lockout, but it's got gold and materials and stuff in it. And it was this cool, like, you know, it was like, oh, that's nice. You know, but then it was, you know, it was something there, but it's not advertised as part of the raid. It's just somebody knew about it.
Yeah, it's like you just kind of actually looked at the background and, hey, look, there's a treasure chest.
Yeah.
And I don't have to fight 20 mobs to get to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think there's more that needs to be kind of discoverable or surprising, because even the treasures in Warlords, by the first couple of days in beta, they had a map to tell you where they all were. So it wasn't about discovering them. It was just about getting the achievement done as quick as you could.
And let me ask you this. I've got a couple different things, but first off, do you think that the treasures in Warlords actually really were effective? I mean, handy notes and all that stuff aside, I mean, were there things that you would actually randomly stumble across? I mean, I remember there's one that's like a small dagger that's like under a cart somewhere or something like that. It's like, first of all, I've gone through so many expansions where WoW has not trained me to do something like that.
Right.
But even more so, it was like so obscure and tiny that you had to know it was there in order to actually get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those things. Or like, how many times did you do Admiral Taylor's Garrison and you had to log out and log back in to get the Grimoire that's on the counter because it was bugged?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, there's so many treasures all over the place that it's not that special anymore. You know, it's the idea of if everyone's special, no one is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there's, 300 treasures scattered across the whole continent, what's so great about it? You know, maybe having one or two like really cool big things in each zone would be something entirely different at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a couple things that make an item feel cool. Like, you can make it super powerful, and as a result, that makes it cool. You know, like Aviana's Feather.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool item. Super useful. That makes that item awesome. That makes that item genuinely a treasure that people want. Now, you didn't find that out in the world, but basic idea being there's an item
something neat that is useful for more than just, hey, I leveled and now I found something that's better.
Scarcity makes an item feel unique.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't go to everybody, if it is something where it's like, hey, this only went to so many people, so that makes it very cool for them, but what does that do for the people who didn't get it? And I think in the case of that, what you need to have is you need to have a steady enough drip feed of these things to where many people get shots at them. Mm-hmm. And maybe down the line you can utilize tools like the black market auction house and stuff like that to maybe find a way to get people those items. Maybe they didn't earn it the cool way that everybody got it the first time, but maybe later, oh hey guys, did you hear the black market auction house has whatever for sale? Mm-hmm. And maybe stop having it be a bid and maybe it's a currency that you can buy. Again, people who play Destiny are like, John, you are describing literally Destiny at this point. But look, there is a reason that people make allusions to Destiny being the future of MMOs. Mm-hmm. Like, even though I love MMOs as a genre as kind of what they are now, and so there's a part of me that looks at Destiny as like, but I don't want to, and I'm going to resist it. But there are some really good ideas there, especially now. They're starting to develop some really good ideas for that. Funny enough, because they talked to Blizzard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're part of the same company.
Yeah, but that was recently revealed that is now a confirmed thing, that the Diablo 3 team spoke with them about Destiny. And what do you know? Destiny got a lot better.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where I think it depends on how they do it, but man, would it be cool if they did it.
Yeah, because treasures, for me, especially when you've been raiding and you've got good gear and you don't need a blue lower tier item level gear piece, it seems like a bunch of a waste of time. I feel like the coolest treasures are pets or toys or things that, and it's if it's randomized, then all of a sudden it becomes more compelling to go out there and find more.
Right.
There's a treasure underneath the wheel of a wagon, like Ben said, but you don't know. You can only pick it up once, but John may have gotten a pet, and when Ben opens it up, it's actually a toy. And, so then you go out and you find another spot that has it in there, and it's not just gear that you sell in the auction house. It's something cool and something, or that it talking about crazy ideas, but it looks at your item levels that you're currently wearing and tries to give you a piece of gear that's comparable to what you are currently item level wise wearing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Have either of you ever picked up a piece of gear from like one of those treasure things and had it been an upgrade?
No. I mean, maybe on my alts, maybe, but for the most part, no. I mean, okay, so the problem that I had is that when I was running through on my mage, I actually had handy notes and I was getting every single thing that I can get. And do you want to know how many leather, mail, or plate things that there actually were? Like, there's so few cloth treasures that, I mean, I picked it up for the experience, then immediately disenchanted it. Because there's absolutely nothing I can do with it. And then when there actually was a cloth piece, it's like, okay, well, just from questing, I have something better. Because I make it a rule of when I'm, you know, playing and leveling and everything like that, if it's an upgrade from my quest gear, guess what? It's an upgrade. Boom. Because I'm doing all the quests. Might as well use the gear. And treasures, I don't think I really used any of them.
Yeah, I didn't really either, and I think a lot of it also has to do with the bad design that's currently in the toy box, and we've talked about that and how silly the cooldowns are on these things, and so and I want to kind of go off of one of the things the chat room is saying, because I think it's the important thing to take away from this. All of this stuff is a learning experience. You know, obviously we had fewer treasures in Pandaria. People thought they were really cool. We got an explosion of treasures in Legion, and I would say people kind of seem a little lukewarm on them overall. Like, hey, I'm not going to argue with getting free stuff, but it did feel a little disruptive at times, especially when it was things like in Nagrand, where it was like you'd look up and see something way on the hill, and you'd think, well, maybe I can jump up there. And you'd spend like 15 minutes trying to jump up a stupid hill that you couldn't make your way up because they wanted you to use the stupid glider to get to it, but you didn't even know the glider existed. And you're just like, well, how am I supposed to get that thing? I don't know how this works. And so I was sitting there on the last quest line of Nagrand, and most people should know exactly what I'm talking about, looking up at this spear that's stuck up in a wall underneath an arch. And it looks like the ridges are just spaced so that I could jump my way up the thing to get it. I could be finishing the game right now, and instead my character is looking like the most intelligent being on Azeroth, repeatedly jumping into a wall over and over again and then slowly sliding back down it, cartoon style. And, you know, I hope that what they take from that is, hey, let's improve the system further, and not just like, well, let's scrap it.
Yeah. This game is not built for jumping puzzles. It's just not well built for anything like that. And so that was the most frustrating thing, especially about having to get the flying mount. That was the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
So, because the treasures, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this, because the jumping and the jumping over and this jumping up for going up to really high and then having to jump down to something lower to try not to miss it and land on your face. And, you know, it's just,
yeah.
It really did frustrate me. But, you know, I wanted to get the flying, so I went through it and I did it. And, you know, there was no cheesing it. There was no getting out of it except for getting handy notes. And that's what I did. So, yeah. So, there you go.
Yeah, it's where you end up eventually with the game, is just handy notes. I didn't use handy notes until I max leveled, and then I said, yep, I'm going to get handy notes. Yeah. We're going to just wrap this up.
Yeah. But I will say, off of handy notes, the things that I was looking forward to more were like the pets or the toys and, you know, just different things like that. I didn't really care too much about any of the gear that dropped. And I mean, I know that there's like garrison caches all over the freaking place. There's, you know, rare mobs all over the freaking place. But again, most of them just dropped some gear, maybe a little bit of garrison resources, but you got XP for it. So, I mean, it was handy that way.
And that's why, you know, not that I want to dive back into the exact same conversation we had last week, but I feel like if gear was more interesting, if it was capable of doing more, you could actually be excited about gear. Mm-hmm. But if it's just, here's a stat increase, of course, you know, like, oh, this eye level is lower, I'm not going to equip it. Like, kind of becomes the default answer, because there's nothing more you really need to think about as it pertains to gear. Which makes it kind of a boring thing to loot. And I feel like they could very easily make gear interesting. I say that, but let me be clear, it's probably not actually that easy to do.
Hey, John, are you a game developer?
I am when I'm in this armchair.
Woohoo! That's the way to do it. That is Buckworthy right there.
That is Buckworthy.
Yeah, you don't want to dough out on game design.
Yeah, nope. Don't dough out on that. We just learned new terminology tonight that's going to stick forever. That's
Yeah.
just the best thing ever.
Oh, yeah. Totally doed out on that one.
Yeah, what's up with that, man?
But will people understand by this point in the episode? Only Ben's editing will know. We'll tell.
They'll probably find out afterwards. Anyways,
I see what you're saying.
so question for you guys. You know, we've kind of talked about stumbling across things or, you know, having a quest line activated or something like that. If you were going to design something, you know, like, go ahead and armchair design if you want, John. This is for you.
Does this play? Can you see my arms on, like, an armchair?
Not really, but we can pretend.
Okay.
We can
Just look like you're raising your shoulders a lot.
I'm armchair developing.
So, okay, what is the way that you want to stumble upon something? I mean, sky's the limit as long as it's within the confines of what exists in WoW right now. Like, how would you activate it? How would you find it? And what would this thing be? John, you go first.
Okay.
Because I'm sure you've had this crawling around in your head for a while. I'm sure that you've come up with like 20 different things that you can come up, or, you know, possibly secretly find.
Right. I'll give you the first, easiest to implement, basically already exists, requires very minimal effort, and is awesome. So here's what you do. You go to /loot.com. You click on podcasts. You find the Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt. You buy it. Boom. Loot. Amazing loot that you can wear out in the real world. You can show your friends. You can tell everybody about it. That's a good treasure. That's a treasure for you. That'd be my first way to go.
But what if I've already looted that treasure? Like,
then you would go to geekasylum.etsy.com and you could pick up, say, other treasures like a keychain or a necklace. geekasylum.etsy.com.
Two different designs.
Two different designs.
Okay, so John, in game though, what would you like something for your character to find, and how would she find it?
Okay, so I am a big fan of dynamic events. You know this. We've had many shows where I'm like, oh man, WoW needs a DM tool. WoW needs some sort of curation process where just people can randomly start an event. And I think that's the most rewarding thing. Like, I would like to be in a zone, and all of a sudden the sky goes dark or something weird happens and people in the zone start freaking out. What is this? What's going on? And then someone's like, guys, I'm over here and there's zombies. We gotta do something about them. And you go over there, you go running, and sure enough, hell, zombies.
Hell zombies?
Hell zombies. And you have to fight them. You have to kill them. And you go through this big event. Maybe it summons a big zombie. People are now starting to diverge on the zone. But, you know, you were there. It happened while you were there. Boom, it dies. You loot something cool off of it. Like, that's what I like. I like this idea that dynamic events could pop up all over the place.
Okay. Jules, how about you? I mean, I know that you're an avid dwarf hater. Is there something that you would want to do that involves slaughtering dwarves, and all of a sudden you get like a ceremonial beard or something?
I feel like my dwarf hating has been misrepresented in said podcast, and I must clarify and state that I was framed, and that these two monkeys decided to put me out on a limb and leave me swinging with no nets. So there we go.
Technically, I didn't put you out there. I just played along.
I know. Those bus wheels are feeling mighty heavy right now, boys. I'm only kidding. So I can't think of anything better than when we were during Cataclysm and Deathwing would periodically go through a zone and he would torch the zone. I really enjoyed that because you never knew when it was going to happen. You never knew, you know, you'd be kind of just trucking along and you'd be doing your thing. Like, I'd be out there picking herbs, doing something, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, what the what? Bleep, bleep. And it's like, because I'm dead. And this achievement pops up and they go, oh, Jules got torched by Deathwing. And it's like, and I would swear, and then I would laugh, And I would be like, that's really cool. You know, it would just be something like that. And so I really do like if there were certain times of the day or weather events of some sort that, you know, even the pets have this, like, you know, when it's snowing in a certain zone, you can only get this pet, and it's seasonal. Some of them you can only get them during the winter time. Is it the snowy owl and winter spring that you can only get during the winter time or something like that.
Oh,
I like that too. I think that's really cool. And I do like the fact that there are certain times of, like, you know that it's going to be Hollow's End, and so what kind of special stuff could I go find that isn't predictable? Like, I can't go through a guide and just find it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can see
I'm going
that.
to steal from Destiny again real quick. I have another idea, and once again, I shouldn't announce this, because if people don't play Destiny, they don't know I'm stealing the idea from somewhere. Okay, pretend I didn't say that last bit. This is a completely original new idea.
Yeah, we'll bleep that too, right?
Yeah, good. I cussed a lot for no reason. And so now, maybe a thing pops up. Maybe it's a daily event. You get a message, and it says, today's weekly time, or daily, or whatever, time-walking dungeon is yada yada. You know, pick a dungeon, Ben.
Calling a Stratholme.
Okay. Well, you picked one that already kind of has one, but okay. Culling of Stratholme.
Sorry, okay, hold
No,
on.
no, let's stick with that.
No,
It's good.
Halls of Lightning.
So, Culling of Stratholme.
Halls of Lightning.
Too late.
Halls of Lightning.
You go into Culling of Stratholme, and, you know, that's your time-walking dungeon. It resets your gear level, everybody's there, you're going through, and all of a sudden, you get to the very, very end, to the part where you would normally race to get to the Drake, except maybe this time that alleyway is filled with different monsters than what's normally in there.
Ooh.
Or all of a sudden you get to the end and there's a totally different boss standing at the end, and you say, okay, cool, I'm going to kill him. He drops an item that starts a quest. You loot that, you keep going. Next week there's another time-walking dungeon. Go to a different dungeon. Maybe, like, I don't know, the Halls of Lightning.
Oh, I've heard of that place.
You're going through, and all of a sudden, there's these things in the dungeon that are clickable. Okay, weird. I'm going to click them. They light up. All right, that's cool. Once they're all lit up and you beat Loken at the end, you get another quest. You complete that. Then, third week, all of a sudden, the time-walking dungeon is just for people who have completed the quests so far, the past 2 weeks. And if you complete that, you get a really awesome piece of gear or a mount or some other sort of reward. You've earned it by doing cool, unique things that changed up what you would normally expect in the dungeon. You've had a reason to log in at least once, multiple times a week, or multiple weeks. And at the very end, not everybody, but a decent amount of people get a really cool reward for it.
Cool.
That's another idea.
I like that too. I like that too. I am really, even though it's been a major pain in my butt, I've been trying to get the Headless Horseman mount. And I've been trying. This is 9 years, going on 9 years now. And I know it exists because people have it, but every season I go out and I try to get it and I don't get it, and then I go back and I try again. You know, there's still a compelling reason for me to want to go after certain things in the game. So if there's and we are creatures of liking randomness, you know, the chance of getting something or the opportunity that you could get something by doing something. So I like that they could randomize that, you know, you get something cool, but you're not necessarily entitled to maybe get it at the end of the event.
Right.
No, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And something else that Chief Vol'jin in the chat room actually mentioned, which I wanted to add to, is that I like the idea of being able to, you know, click things or have things be, you know, like more randomized in a dungeon. I'm not saying like the layout changes, like I'm not trying to make it Diablo, but where, you know, different things can actually happen inside. Like the Karazhan Opera House, one of the greatest things is you don't know what you're going to get each week. I mean, granted,
I thought that was awesome,
yeah,
by the way.
One of three things. I like that because you have your comp, and if you're in there with a team that you haven't gone through and seen all of them, you're like, okay, if this happens this, if this happens this, if this happens this, then you click, it's like, oh, it's this one, okay, you need to do, you like hurry and try to figure out what's going on and everything, and it was something that was fun. Like John was saying, you click things to do this. Vol'jin mentioned in the chat room, what if some of that stuff is dangerous? Like, what if you have no idea what it's going to do, and it can actually, like, all of a sudden, oh, okay, well, I click this, and all of a sudden there's this, what was that? Okay, and then now there's this like roaming boss in the dungeon that you never would have had if you didn't randomly click on something, and guess what? It can kill you pretty easy. Or, maybe the floor is covered with lava and you have to play a lava jumping game at that point. just fun little things that are kind of more unpredictable, that no matter how much you look on Wowhead, look up strats, do anything like that, you're not going to be able to know everything that's going to happen anymore. I mean, one of the most fun times that John and I had back in Wrath was pretty much right when it started, when we were running dungeons. We weren't looking things up. We weren't able to. We had to kind of figure those fights out. And granted, once we learned it, that's it. There's no more sort of, randomness or anything that we need to figure out at that point. But having that like experience together of seeing what's going to happen is what made a lot of that time so much more enjoyable for me.
Yes.
I agree. I think we've all grown as a people.
Yes. Yes, we have.
We've learned much in our time playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah. And I know that we're getting kind of short on time here, but I just want to point out that, John, something that you said is that kind of the feeling of the mystery and everything kind of started dying near the end of Wrath. That's when the most people were playing. So, of course, that's when the databases started getting all their information. That's when they started having the audience to throw all that information at. And
right.
Since then, it's just kind of, okay, this is what we wrought. So maybe, if the WoW subscriptions keep going down, the game will be a ton more fun.
Yeah, nobody will be around to tell you everything that happens. But I think you're right. Like, data mining is always going to be a thing. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be a problem. I don't know the technical side well enough to know how Blizzard can combat that.
Decrypt it all.
How much they're able to keep hidden, how much has to be set up to where they have to, to where they just can't help it. It's like, well, this is going to be data mined, but that's just the reality of it. And maybe that's the case. But if they don't make everything active, they can throw a huge list at people, and people will be like, oh, well, they added all this stuff, but we don't know how we don't know when it's going to become active. We don't really know. We think it comes from here. Like, there's a way to fight against the data mining to where you can still have them, because I look at all that stuff. I like what data miners do. I'm right there with them. You can still look at it and see it and get excited about it, but not have it ruined in the moment of like, oh man, I'm in here and this crazy thing happened. Mm-hmm. And I think randomness helps that. And I'm not talking about RNG in the I killed the boss and oh man, were the RNG gods on my side. I'm talking about randomness in more of the I just don't know what to expect every time I log in.
Yeah. Plus Turkey's a good example. It's something that was in game already that they repurposed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We never knew it was there because it's already there.
Yeah, there was one thing that I just thought of. What about something like a time capsule, where you could discover something that is in the world and you stumble upon it, and it is a time capsule of some sort of older piece of nostalgia or things that were around in the game, maybe mounts that they've taken out of the game that are only available on black market auction house now. Things or trading card mounts or pets or things like that, where you'd get super lucky. It's like the golden ticket. You go out there and find like this golden ticket, and you're out there and you're like, I got the Swift Zulian tiger, and it's awesome, and it'd be amazing.
I was hanging out on a Dalaran, and I heard this weird like meowing or whatever, and I kind of followed the sound, and all of a sudden there was a little like paw prints on the ground, and I followed those, got into this cave, And there was a Spectral Tiger mount that I got. I don't know.
Well, actually, it's funny. That's actually a really good point, Jules, kind of bringing it back to the black market auction house. They have a listing of items that are perfect for this. And it is those random boxes where you don't know what you're going to get. Pull that exact loot list and make it rewards for a bunch of these random things.
Yeah.
Like, stop using it necessarily as a gold sink. I understand gold sinks are important.
No,
they got to be in the game.
still have it as a gold sink. That's perfectly fine because it's still in there, but there's this other way that you can get it. And what if they have the same loot list? Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, I'm all for it. And have it not be, it doesn't need to be constant. They can space it out. You know, like I said, the example I gave that was not at all copied from another game, you know, that would have taken 3 weeks to, you know, almost a month, depending on how they space it out, to get through and do the whole thing for one thing. Like, that's, you know, that's a good chunk of time. That means, theoretically, if you have 12 months between expansions, you know, you only have to do that 12 times. 12 events. Well, I guess no, it's more than that if each one's a little event. Whatever, numbers. That's for Ben. It's for math.
That's right.
Math Ben.
I like numbers.
But, you know, it's not that many. To me, like, it doesn't seem like it's game breaking. Just, you know, put in some cool stuff. Let people be surprised in the game is the big takeaway.
Yeah. Well, hey, I think that we've talked about something that we all want to see, and I'd be really surprised if you know, listeners and other players don't want something like this built in. So hopefully something like this can go into Legion, if not Legion, because, you know, we know it's already under development. Next expansion, which is called Tally or Garrus. I'm not sure which, one or the other.
Why is it called that?
Because Legion is a character in Mass Effect. So is Tally. So is Garrus.
My Garrus is sitting right over here.
I gotcha.
Amazing. My Legion is sitting back there.
Aww.
It's not a cat, though.
You got the game early? What's Demon Hunter like?
You double jump, John. It's just like WildStar.
Double jump, finally. It's about time.
Yeah. Jules, thank you very much for joining us. I think we had a lot of fun. It was a great conversation. And as always, you were a pleasure to talk to.
It's always, always, always fun to chat with you guys about pretty much anything. Like, we can get a random topic like Big Game Hunter HD and just like, talk about that for 20 minutes and not have moments that we're just like, this is really lame. Why are we talking about this? It's so cool. So thanks for having me back, and you guys rock.
Yep. Now, I know in 2 weeks, we're actually going to be seeing you. What would be the best place that we can possibly find you over the BlizzCon weekend?
So the number one thing that I wanted to mention is the Well Played party, which is on Friday. It's actually 2 weeks from today. As we record this show right now, it would be happening 2 weeks from now. I know, it's so cool. So Well Played is being run by the CTR Guild. It's for the entire community. It's a great opportunity to hang out and meet some new people. It's open to everyone, free admission. We have a photo booth. We have prizes from Jinx. I just got the list. It is amazing, the prizes we're giving away from Jinx. We've got lots of people coming from all different parts of Blizzard. And it's on Friday, November 6th in the Hilton, Anaheim, second floor from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Please, please come. This has been my life since May, and I am finally going to see it come to fruition. I'm so, so, so excited. So, yeah. And also, Marconin and I will be doing a presentation of Tauren Think Tank at World of Podcasts, which is on Thursday evening. And we will be signing autographs and meeting people in the tap room prior to that. So from 6 to 7, we're in the tap room, and then from 7 to 7:15, we'll be broadcasting Tauren Think Tank.
Very cool. And how can people find you otherwise?
Best way to find me is on Twitter at JulesRPG. And you can also check out our podcast, Tauren Think Tank, which is our WoW-based podcast based on advice that we give to players of gaming all around Blizzard's universe. Advice, interpersonal relationships, that kind of thing. And then I also do 2 other shows. I do a show about geek nostalgia with Revan Geek and Ryan Allgood. That is called I Remembered It Better. And I have a brand new show that I'm doing with Pat Crane from Convert to Rate. It's called A Case of the Mondays, where we talk about silly, stupid news, play some independent music. It's an hour-long distraction from your Mondays. So, again, called A Case of the Mondays with Jules and Pat.
What day do you record that?
I'll give you 7 guesses.
Tuesday.
Yeah, no.
Wednesday.
No.
Thursday.
No.
Saturday.
No.
Sunday.
Say ending in a Y.
He said Sunday. Is it Sunday?
He said Sunday, no.
Is it Friday?
No.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Is it Tuesday? Oh, that was 7. Dang it.
Yeah, no, and John started with Tuesday, so you actually duplicated his effort.
I'm sorry,
man.
John.
Man, we're going over... Well, who knows? What was the name of the show again?
A Case of the Mondays.
Okay, good.
So you have your answer.
I don't get it. Can I listen to it on Tuesday if it's on a podcast?
Do I have to listen on a Monday?
Oh,
No.
Monday.
Oh, give that man a mount. I don't know which one you want.
Whoa.
That could get
Okay.
really dirty really fast. John just turned red.
I wanted a mount.
Too bad I won it.
You can listen to it any day of the week you want, but we do record it on Mondays at 2 p.m. Central.
Ben got a buck.
Yeah, you didn't dough out this time, Ben.
Dang right. Hey, John, where can people find you to find out if you are doing out or not?
If you want to know just how doing out I am, you can follow me on Twitter at John_Jagger. You can catch me on this show. You can catch me on the NVIDIA stream along with Scott Johnson. That's 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/NVIDIA for the Experience Points show. You can also download or I think catch us live. Maybe. I don't know. We changed it up. For Core. That's a Heroes of the Storm podcast. That's with me, Bo Schwartz, Scott Johnson. It's a Heroes of the Storm podcast. It's a lot of fun, and I encourage everybody to check it out if you are at all interested in Heroes of the Storm.
I love Core, by the way. I am a
Thank
total
you.
Core fan. I've listened to every episode that you guys have made, and I laugh along with you, and I yell at your radio and say, "No, that's not right."
So, would you say that you're hardcore?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good shirt.
Yeah, it would be. I'm hardcore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make Scott make that.
Yeah.
John, is there anything else that you're doing?
Yes, Ben. I'm glad you asked. I am also, I brought back a show that I do called Parallel Words. It is a writing podcast. We are about to release episode 2.
Yay!
It is a podcast where we tell short stories. It's me and Aaron Green. Each week we trade off, and he read last week's story, which was pretty darn good. Wasn't a horror story, but mine is this week.
Good!
So if you want a horror story, check out the newest episode. It's not up yet. Should be up before the weekend is over. That's
awesome.
it. That's everything I do.
Because
for
I
now.
was looking at my feed and I was really looking forward to it because I enjoy your work. So
I could technically send you the audio at any time.
you could. If you're looking for me, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Ben the Mage. I also do a show called. I don't know which one I was going to say first. Anyways, I do a show called Battle Pets with Eludra. I finished editing it, sent it to her. It should be posted hopefully shortly. As for other shows I do, I also do one called Geektopia. We are actually going to be recording tomorrow, continuing our D&D campaign. So look for that episode sometime this weekend. This show, however, the one you're currently listening to, this is Azeroth Roundtable, and we are on Twitter at AzerothRT. We are online at AzerothRoundtable.com. We are also on TuneIn, iTunes, and Stitcher. All 4 of those places, you can find us every single episode that we have, all 135 of them, after this gets edited and put up. And even more so, if you have any questions, comments, or want to talk to us about any mysteries that you have come up with, go ahead and send those to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com. But wait, there's more. Remember the Con Before the Storm? Guess what? We are going to be there. That's right, John and I are going to be there. We are going on at 7:15, right after Torrent Think Tank. Before and after that, I'm sure that will be around. We're not going to be in the Tap Caf because I don't think that people want our autograph. But if you do see us and you actually want it, just walk up and I'll scribble something and John will have something that looks kind of like his name. But feel free to stop on by.
My signature is fantastic.
I know, it looks kind of like your name. It's pretty cool.
I don't want anybody... Hold on, let me just interrupt your closing momentum here and put a full screeching halt to this show. Hi, everybody. I don't think you should ask for my autograph necessarily, but I will say I have a fine autograph, and if you want to see it, I will show it to you, and that is not a euphemism.
So you won't give it to them, you'll just show it to them. You write it down.
Oh no,
like,
I'll totally give you. I'll sign. I was about to say whatever you want. I'm double backing on that. I will sign anything within reason, but you know, I don't know why you want it, but if you want to... There's no way I'm going to say this without it sounding inappropriate. Well, then, if you want to see it, I'll show it to you.
Let's put it this way. I'll sign whatever. It won't look pretty. It probably won't look like my name, but I'll sign something.
And John, I have a present for you at BlizzCon as well. So when I have something to give to you because you gave something to us for well played. That wonderful Murloc print. I have one for you.
Awesome.
That
makes me happy.
Yes.
That used to be the background on my phone. I was so glad I got to do that for you guys and got so excited when people started tweeting pictures of it. So,
well, there is one waiting for you currently in California, and we will give it to you when you get there.
Awesome. 2 weeks.
Yay!
Yay. Also, if you're around BlizzCon, wow, I can't pick up that steam anymore.
Speaking of the thing I was saying before I was interrupted.
No, that doesn't work. Anyways, and then Saturday, if you go to the AIE Guild Hall, we will actually be recording a live show from BlizzCon at 5 p.m. That's right. We will be streaming on Alpha Geek, and we'll be sitting there live. So come join us, have fun. We're going to do like we have at the other live shows, bringing people up, talking to people. It's going to be great. If you want to be on the show and aren't crazy, feel free to stop on by.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be on the show and are crazy and you still want to watch us, come on by.
I want to be a show.
Yeah, I know. And last but not least, our music contains music from Volatile Reaction by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more of his music at incopytech.com. Thanks for listening.
Ah, that's the new end. Hey everybody, welcome to Azeroth Roundtable. I'm Ben, the crazy wild host.
That could stop anytime.
It could, but it won't.
Okay, well, if Jules wants to bring Mid-Yet up and everything, that is entirely up to her.
I don't know if they are listening or not. They might be. I don't think they're listening.
Mid-Yet, are you listening to the show?
I don't know if they want to be on stream either. So
yeah, it's okay. Once we get the stream stopped, then maybe.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So Star Wars, guys. Holy crap!
Oh my gosh!
It looks so good. It looks so good.
Guys, did you see the video that was made where it combined all three of the trailers into one? Like someone actually pieced it in where they thought like the two teasers fell into the full-length trailer?
I didn't see it. I saw that Pat tweeted it, but I haven't watched it.
Yes, it is really cool. Make sure you take a look at it because it's cool. I mean, obviously they don't know, but they're they're trying to figure it out, see where it got placed. It's cool.
Sorry, Chief Fulgen, I just saw my show, Parallel Words, I think is the one you're asking about. Otherwise, it's Core, or otherwise, it's Experience Points on the NVIDIA stream, or otherwise, it's Azeroth Roundtable.
It's probably Azeroth Roundtable. I don't think he knows about that one.
Or otherwise, it's Arcanum of Azeroth.
No, don't do that. I don't even think that's available anywhere anymore.
I don't think it is.
I think I've got it on a hard drive somewhere, but that's about it.
It's being taken care of by top men.
Top men.
Top men.
Jules, do you have your Star Wars ticket?
No, I don't. Mainly just because I don't. it's the busiest time of year for Kane, and it's so hard for him to know when he's going to be working.
No,
so
you just make that time.
I know.
Or buy tickets for every show, and then you just go to whatever one you can make it to.
John, you're creeping me out.
Are you trying to Jocelyn her?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
See into my soul is what he's doing.
Ow, it made my eyes hurt. I kept them open for too long.
It's so creepy. Yeah, I mean, really, definitely want to figure out when to see it. I'm dying to see it. We just don't know when. Do you guys have your tickets? You both have tickets.
Top man.
Yeah.
Ben bought my ticket for me, which was very nice. I should have probably bought your stuff today.
Yeah, either that or just give me money.
It would have been a good way to pay back.
Yeah, would have.
Bro hug.
No, it's worth more than a bro hug. It's Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars.
2 bro hugs. Come on.
Oh, lay it down, dog.
Are you guys carpooling over to BlizzCon again this year?
Yeah, we're gonna periscope that thing.
That's awesome.
We're gonna periscope it.
Yep.
Periscope our drive to BlizzCon.
Gonna periscope the whole damn drive.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
I don't know. We'll have to double check. I know some of it's going to, though, no matter what.
Some of it's getting recorded. Some of it will be periscoped. It'll be in the back with a microphone interviewing fools.
What, your car buddy is sitting in the back with you? Hey,
No,
T-shirt! You going to BlizzCon?
Well, I guess. Where can I find you at BlizzCon, T-shirt? Well, you can't, but you can find me on SlashLoot.com.
And also on your body. Just gonna be hanging out there for 2 days.
I'm gonna be having a good time. I'm a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Don't dough out on me, bro.
That is your show title right there.
It's still clickbait.
That is great. I know, that was the best. That was like the perfect fit.
You have to admit, my T-shirt ad this episode was pretty
good.
Spectacular.
That was flawless.
They didn't even
awfully
know
quiet
what was
about
going
it.
on. They're like, what?
It was damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to just I don't know if I can top it. Now it's gonna have to just go at the end of the show, and I'm gonna be like, Azeroth Roundtable thanks you for listening. And if you want to give something back, you can buy the official Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt, available now at slashloot.com. Just head to the website and click on podcasts. You'll find the Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt, complete with logo mic... Wait, I messed up. Hold on. Take 2.
You're totally
complete
doing...
with Murloc microphone. We should sell Murloc microphones!
Yes, you should.
It's like a Mr. Microphone, except it's shaped like a Murloc.
Yes.
Yeah,
It would make money.
You're totally sounding like Casey Kasem trying to do an NPR promo.
12 years ago this week, she was a small town girl. I can't do a Casey Kasem. Sorry.
No, that was good. Keep going.
He was a football superstar. Together, they made a power couple until the Iraq War. They were separated for 17 months. I don't know. I didn't listen to Casey Kasem enough. I don't know.
Then she got a letter saying that he was gone for good. 3 weeks later, a knock on the door, and his service dog was there, holding the flag. That was, I don't know.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, he caught the super AIDS.
In Iraq?
I don't know.
All
I'm
right,
just
folks.
going off of what I know about Casey Kasem.
I think that's good. I think we're calling that the end of the stream. So
We're calling that good.
have a good night, everybody. And,
Bye, guys.
Good luck with your super AIDS.
Happy weekend.